Hello class 7th students. Today we are going to start the chapter that is air. So in this chapter we are discussing about the atmosphere, the definition of this atmosphere, about the composition of the atmosphere, what is the greenhouse effect, what do you understand by the global warming, then the layers of the atmosphere, moisture, weather and climate, temperature, air pressure, wind, types of winds. So all these things we are going to discuss in this chapter. So first of all we come with here the definition of the atmosphere, that what is an atmosphere. So what the atmosphere here means, here you can see that the definition of atmosphere: the earth is surrounded by a huge blanket of air called atmosphere. So the earth is surrounded by a huge blanket of the air, that is called the atmosphere. Like you feel the cold during the winter season, so use the blanket. So blanket trap the heat inside the inside the that area, so that feels you hot, and that is protect you from the coldness from the winter. So here also that the around the earth there is a layer, that is we call the blanket of air, that is called the atmosphere. So all living beings on this earth survive because of the atmosphere. If atmosphere is not there, then what happened? Then without this, first of all, that we are not protecting from the harmful effects of sun rays. So atmosphere protecting us from the harmful effect of the sun rays. Second thing, that if the atmosphere is not there, then the heat of the sun during day and get frozen during night. Okay, so in the daytime so much heat that we would be baked. Okay, and second thing, that in the night it's like the frozen. So it protects us from the harmful rays of the sun, from the heatness and from the so much frozenness. And what happened, that it atmosphere make the earth livable, it maintain the temperature and make the earth livable. Second comes here the composition of the atmosphere. Composition of the atmosphere. In this picture what we observe, that nitrogen, that is 78% in the atmosphere, after that the oxygen, then carbon dioxide, then argon, and then all other gases. So mainly component is here the nitrogen, and the second one is the carbon dioxide, sorry, oxygen, and the third one is the carbon dioxide. So here that in this composition of atmosphere what we observe, that uh, bulk of the atmosphere, carbon dioxide, helium, ozone, argon, hydrogen are found in lesser quantities. Apart these gases, what we find, the tiny particles also present in the air, tiny dust particles. Like if you clean a surface and after some time what you observe, that there are small dust. Okay, dust is there, so that are the tiny dust particles. Tiny means the small dust particles that are present in the air, present in the atmosphere. Nitrogen is the most plentiful gas in the air. When we inhale, we take some amount of nitrogen into our lungs and exhale it. But plants need nitrogen for their survival. So when we are exhaling, when we are inhaling, some part of nitrogen also get it inside. But what happened, that if the we exhale, okay, then it automatically comes out. But what plants need the nitrogen, but plants do not take it directly from the air. First the soil, take the nitrogen from the air, then the roots of the plants change it into another form and then give to the plant. So plant use that in his growth. Like this, the plant needed the nitrogen, but we do not need the nitrogen, we want the oxygen. And how we get the oxygen? We get the oxygen from the plants. As we see here, that nitrogen directly, not taking directly from the air, bacteria that live in the soil, roots of some plants take nitrogen from the air and change its form so that plants can use. Second gas is the oxygen gas, that is useful for the humans and animals. And what that? Green plants produce oxygen during the photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process of making food by the plants, in which what the plant needed? The water, the sunlight and the carbon dioxide. So plant needed the carbon dioxide, and means we can say plant intake carbon dioxide and exhale oxygen. So plants are necessary for maintaining the ratio of O2 and CO2. Okay, O2 and CO2, they both are balanced because of the plants. Now in this way, oxygen content in the air remains constant. If we cut trees, this balance get disturbed. Obviously, if we cutting down the trees regularly, then this balance disturbed. After that, what here happened? Carbon dioxide is another important gas. Green plants can carbon dioxide to make their food and release oxygen. Humans or animals release carbon dioxide. The amount of carbon dioxide released by humans or animals seem to be equal amount used by the plants, which make a perfect balance. So the plants make the perfect balance in the atmosphere in the ratio of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Okay, if we are using the coal and oil as the fossil fuels, then what? Then this carbon dioxide increases into the atmosphere. As a result, the increased volume of carbon dioxide is affecting the earth's weather and climate. Now we come to here on the first page. Here you can see this. So what here? First of all, here we discussed about the greenhouse effect, the global warming and the effect of the global warming. So first of all, that what is greenhouse? You understand that what is greenhouse? When the areas, there are some areas that not having the sun, means not having the hot climate, always the snow is there. So what do for the growth of the plants? That make a glass house and make it grow the plants inside the glass house. So when the sunlight enter in that glass house, it is not going out, means they are having at least some time. So that is good for the plant growth. Okay, suppose this is the glass house, here we put the plants. Okay, now here is the sun. So sunlight come inside and these glass trapping the sunlight, so that is for the longer hours. So this is called the greenhouse effect. This is called the greenhouse effect. Okay, so now here what happened, that carbon dioxide released in the atmosphere create a greenhouse effect that trapping the heat radiate from the earth. It is therefore called a greenhouse gas, and without it earth would have been too cold to live in. So carbon dioxide is called as the greenhouse gas. It is, if it is in the balanced manner, then it is good for us, that it makes the climate livable. But if it is in the excess, it increase. Okay, when its level in the atmosphere increase due to factory smoke, car fumes, heat retained increase the temperature of the earth. This is called global warming. What this is called? This is called the global warming. This rise in temperature causes the snow in coldest parts of the world to melt. As a result, sea level rises, causing floods in the coastal areas. There may be a drastic changes in the climate of a place, leading to extinction of some plants and animals in the long run. Okay, so it is clear that because of the global warming, what happened, the snow melted and the sea level rises, and there's a situation of flood in the coastal areas. That is called the effect of the global warming. Now we come here with the layers of the atmosphere. Now you can see the picture. This is, wait, here this is, so here what, here we come with the troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, exosphere. Okay, so if we start from the bottom, that is troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. Now we can read about, first of all, the troposphere. So troposphere is the important most layer of the atmosphere. Its height is 13 kilometer, and the activities all we did in this air we breathe, that is in this air, and the rainfall, fog, hailstorm, these all are happen into this layer. Next one is the stratosphere. Okay, stratosphere above the troposphere, height is 50 kilometer. The all layer free from the clouds and associated no weather phenomena, making conditions most for ideal for flying aeroplanes. Okay, this troposphere is used for flying the aeroplanes. One important feature of the stratosphere is that it contains a layer of ozone gas. Okay, ozone gas, that is ozone layer. Ozone layer protect us from the ultraviolet rays that coming from the sun. So it protect us from the harmful effect of the sun rays. Next one come with the mesosphere. This is the third layer of the earth of the atmosphere. First troposphere, second stratosphere and third mesosphere. It lies above the stratosphere. Height is 80 kilometer and meteorites burn up in this layer on entering from the space. Okay, meteorites that you learn in the class 6, the tiny small bodies. Okay, so that is when entering in the mesosphere, they start burning up. Next comes the thermosphere. So thermosphere temperature rises very rapidly with increasing height. Okay, when you are going to upward, then in the thermosphere the height, the temperature of that the increasing with the height. Ionosphere is a part of this layer. It extends between the 80 to 400 kilometer. This layer helps in the radio transmission, so that you listen the radio, that is the waves come here in the mesosphere, sorry, in the thermosphere. Okay, now we come that the radio waves transmitted from the earth are reflected back to the earth by this layer, thermosphere. Last comes to the exosphere. The uppermost layer of the atmosphere is known as the exosphere, uppermost layer. This layer has been very thin air. Light gases like helium, hydrogen float into the space from here. Okay, so here we discussed about the different types of layers of atmosphere. Now we come to the weather and climate. So first of all, I tell you the things that what is the difference between the weather and the climate. Naturally, we generally we say that weather is this, climate is this, but actually both having the difference. Weather is the hour to hour situation. Suppose at morning, sunny morning, in the afternoon what we observe, that clouds are there, then in the evening what happened, rain is there, okay, start raining. So what we observe, that hour to hour the climate is change, the atmosphere activity is changing. So that is called the weather. That is called the weather. Weather is the hour to hour, day to day condition of the atmosphere. Okay, a hot or humid weather may make one irritable, and a pleasant breezy weather may make one cheerful and even plan for an outing. Okay, so that is called the weather. Now climate of a place for a longer period. Okay, now we can see the climate of Rajasthan. So what you say, I'm asking that what is the climate of the Rajasthan, then you say that always there are hot weather, hot climate. Okay, if I am saying that the climate of Kerala, so you say the moderate climate. Okay, neither so much hot and nor so much cold. So that is the situation for a longer duration. The average weather condition of a place for a longer period of time represent the climate of a place. Now do you understand why we have daily weather forecast? Okay, in news it is called the weather forecast, not the climate forecast, because climate for the longer duration, but weather changes within the hours. Okay, so that is called the weather forecast. Now we come to the temperature. Yes, the temperature you feel every day is the temperature of the atmosphere. The degree of hotness and coldness of the air is known as temperature. Okay, the degree you feel very hot and very cold, that is the degree of the air, that is called the temperature. Temperature of the atmosphere changes not only between day and night, but also from season to season. Summers are hotter than winters. So temperature not changes day to day, but also within the seasons, like we have the summer season, winter season, autumn season. Okay, an important factor that influences the distribution of temperature is insolation. Insolation is the incoming solar energy intercepted by the earth. So the what affected the distribution of the temperature, affected the insolation. This is the sun. Okay, this is the sun and this is the earth. So what rays coming here, the sun rays, that is intercepted, means gained by the earth. So in what sequence the earth gained, that is the called the intercept, that is called the insolation. The amount of insolation decreases from the equator towards the pole. Okay, in class 6 we study the globe. This is the equator. Okay, and here is north pole and here is south pole. So sun rays here are very much, if we are going this side, then the sun rays what in the lesser amount, here also in the lesser amount. So insolation here more and here less. Now here you can see there are some pictures given, that thermometer measures the temperature, barometer measures the atmospheric pressure, rain gauge measures the amount of rainfall, and wind vane shows the direction of the wind. These are called the weather instruments. The temperature decreases in the same manner. Okay, how do you now do you understand why poles are covered with snow? So why poles are covered with snow? Because the less amount of insolation is there. Okay, less heat, less sunlight is there. That is why what it is why the poles, north pole and south pole, covered with the snow. If the earth temperature rises too high, it would be become too warm for some crops to grow. Okay, so temperature in cities is much higher than of the villages because of the pollution, using other vehicles. So that is the buildings are of making of the metals and concrete, roads of metal. So this heat is released during the night. Also, the crowded high-rise buildings of the cities trap the warm air and thus raise the temperature of the cities. Now we come to the air pressure. You will be surprised to know the air above us presses us with a great force on our body. So it comprises, okay, air comprises create a pressure on our body, but we don't feel it. This is because air pressure us from all direction and our body exerts a counter pressure. Okay, suppose this is the human body. Okay, this is the human body. Now air pressure from all the sides. Okay, from all the sides, and same counter back. Okay, same counter back. So we do not feel the pressure. Air pressure is defined as the pressure exerted by the weight of air on the earth surface. So according to the weight of the air on the earth surface, the air pressure is defined. Okay, as we go up the layers of the atmosphere, the pressure falls rapidly. If we are going upward in the layers of atmosphere, then the pressure decreases. The air pressure is highest at sea level. Okay, so in the sea level it is highest, but decreases on when we are going to a height. Horizontally, the distribution of air pressure is influenced by temperature of air at a given place. So the pressure is affected by the temperature of a particular place. Where the temperature is high, the air gets heated and rises. Okay, so where the temperature is high, then the air gets heat, and that rises and create a low pressure area. Low pressure area is associated with cloudy skies and wet weather. Okay, so where the low pressure area, where the cloudy sky and the wet weather. In areas having lower temperature, okay, air is cold and it heavy and sinks, means downs, and create a high pressure area. High pressure area is associated with clear and sunny skies. The air always move from high pressure area to low pressure area. Now I am repeating again, you can understand it carefully. When the temperature is increasing, when the temperature is high, means hot, okay, then what happened, then the air heated up and goes upward. Okay, goes upward, and what there the cloudy sky and wet weather, and where the atmosphere, means the cold weather, then the air become heavy and settle down, and it create a high pressure area. Okay, and that is what observe clear and sunny skies. So air always travel from high pressure to low pressure area. Now we come to the wind. The movement of air from high pressure area to low pressure area is called wind. So the movement of air from high pressure area and low pressure area, that is called the wind. You can see wind at work as it blows dry leaves down the pavement or uproots trees during a storm. Okay, sometimes when the wind blows gently, you can even see it blowing away smoke or fine dust. At times wind can be so strong that it is difficult to walk against it. Okay, this all we feel when the wind is at high level. Okay, you must have experience if it is not easy to hold an umbrella on a windy day. Okay, you all observe that. Think of other some examples when strong winds have created problems for you. Now we have three types of winds: permanent winds, seasonal winds and local winds. Now you can hear that the trade winds called the westerlies and easterlies. Okay, the permanent winds called the trade winds, westerlies, easterlies are the permanent winds. Okay, and these blow constantly throughout the year in a particular direction. So trade winds, westerlies, easterlies, these are called the permanent winds and they are blowing permanently in particular direction. Then come to the seasonal winds. These winds change their direction in different seasons. For example, monsoons in India. Okay, so that is change. Then the local winds. These blow only during a particular period of the day or a year in a small area. For example, land and sea breeze. Do you recall hot and dry local winds of northern India? It is called Lu. So that local wind means that for a particular season blowing. Okay, and here you observe that here a diagram given. Okay, here the diagram given. Okay, so what you observe here, this is the high pressure area and this is also the high pressure area. Okay, and what we learned that the wind move from high pressure to low pressure. So here from the polar, that is easterlies, that is from high pressure to low pressure. Then here subtropical high pressure, so here move towards the low pressure. Then here equatorial low pressure means moving here, here also moving here, then here and here. Okay, so this is the major pressure belts and the wind system. Now we come here that this is the disaster happened in cyclone in Odisha. Okay, in eastern seacoast of Odisha is prone to cyclone. The originate in Bay of Bengal, 1718 October 1999. Okay, so 29 October 1999 another cyclone come and damages, lots of damage, and damage caused were mainly due to three factors: wind velocity, rain and tidal surge. Okay, the winds up to 260 km per hour lasted over 36 hours. So this tragedy happened in Odisha in 1999. Now we come to the moisture. So here you see the pictures of the rainfall. Okay, that what type of rainfall? The cyclonic rainfall, relief rainfall, and here is the conventional rainfall. So first of all we know about the moisture. Moisture: when water evaporates from land and different water bodies, it becomes vapor. Okay, we have the rivers, lakes, ponds. So when heat is so much, then what? The water evaporates, and what it become the vapor. Moisture in the air at any time is known as humidity. Okay, moisture in any time in the air, that is called the humidity. So when the air is full of water vapor, it is called the humid day. Okay, and the air gets warmer, its capacity to hold the water vapor increases, and so it becomes more and more humid. And on a humid day, clothes take longer time, and sweat from our bodies does not evaporate easily, making us feel uncomfortable. Okay, sometimes what we happen that there is so much humidity and our sweating also not dry up, clothes are not dry up. Okay, so that what we call the humid day. When the water vapor rises, it starts cooling. The water vapor condenses, means cool it down, causing formation of droplets of water, means the rain cycle. Clouds are just masses of such water droplets. When these droplets become heavy, so float in the not able to float in, then they come down as precipitation. Precipitation means the rainfall. So jet planes flying in the sky leave a white trail behind. Okay, some jet planes flying in the sky and white trail. Okay, most of the time you can see the moisture from their engine condenses. Okay, so that is cool down the moisture in the sky. We see trails of this condenses moisture for some time when there is no air of movement to disturb it. When the air comes and it disappears. Precipitation come down the earth in the form of in the liquid form, what we call the rain. The most of the groundwater comes from rainwater. Plants also preserve the water. When trees on the hillsides are cut, rainwater flow down and bear the mountains and cause flooding of low-lying areas. On the basis of mechanism, there are three types of rainfall: the conventional rainfall, orographic rainfall, and the cyclonic rainfall. Here the rainfall is very important for the survival of plants and animals. It brings fresh water to the earth's surface. If rainfall less, water scarcity and drought occur. On the other hand, it is more, than floods take place. So this chapter is all about the air. We can discuss it. So go through the video and try to understand the chapter. This is the summary I am giving you here. Read the textbook also and try to understand the chapter. Thank you.